Welcome to the Tourism Hub podcast, a podcast devoted to you and your excellence, providing inspiration and education for the entrepreneurs, experience makers, and excellence seekers of our industry to take your tourism business and career to a whole new level.
Relax.
I want to open this episode with a stat that made me put my phone down mid-scroll. A recent report by Dentsu, one of the world's largest marketing and media agencies, found that the average person scrolls through around 91 meters of content every day. That's about the length of an AFL football field. So let's just think about that as I welcome you to the Tourism Hub podcast, your space to learn, to be inspired and grow every day, to be better today than we were yesterday. If you do enjoy today's conversation, it'd be truly remarkable if you could hit a little subscribe, maybe leave a little review, even if you just send me a DM on the socials to let me know that you had a listen and what you thought. But let's go back to this 91 meters of content that we scroll through on average every day. Now, we go back to all that scrolling, that much input, that many micro decisions our fingers and our beautiful brains are making constantly. We're living in a time when attention has become more than a commodity. It's a currency, and not just in marketing, but in how we are experiencing the world. That's what this episode is all about. And personally, it's a very meaningful one too. Today I'm sharing something that goes beyond content. It's the final countdown. Foreigner, was that Foreigner? I don't know, but it was the final countdown, and this was the final creative postgraduate project that I submitted as part of my Masters of Digital and Social Media Marketing. Well, almost final. I haven't crossed that stage in the cap and gown just yet, but I've received official confirmation that number one, I passed this unit with a HD, thank you very much, and that I've completed my postgraduate degree. Woohoo! Now, graduation is in a couple of months, not quite there yet. And while that moment will be special for me and my lovely family, the real reward has been the journey. It's always about the journey. This particular project I titled CTRL+ALT+DELETE. Attention is the new offline. This project, part of my web creative media unit, is called CTRL+ALT+DELETE. Attention is the new offline. It's a short 3-minute video that dives into the complex and often confronting reality we now operate in. A digital world shaped by artificial intelligence, recommendation algorithms, and the ever-growing and evolving mechanics of the attention economy. But more than anything, this was a project born from questions I just couldn't ignore anymore. What does it mean to connect in a world designed to distract us? What is the cost of trying to stay relevant in a system that rewards speed and presence, but not always depth or integrity? As a small business owner in tourism and dare say in any industry, I personally often find myself caught between two roles. On one hand, we're consumers in this digital world, easily distracted, constantly scrolling. AFL football-sized daily scrolling. But on the other, we're business operators leveraging the same systems to reach our audiences, drive awareness, and hopefully build our businesses, build trust, build relationships, build profitability. There's a quote from Tristan Harris, a former design ethicist at Google, that really stuck with me. He said, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. To save you from Googling, if you're curious about what on earth is an ethicist, it is someone who studies moral principles, in this case, how technology shapes our behavior, our values, even our identities. This quote reminds me how easy it is to become unaware of how deeply influenced we are. The tools we use are shaping us just as much as we use them. Our habits, our thoughts, our time. They're not as autonomous as we like to believe. That tension between using the system and being used by the system, that tension between using the system and being used by the system sits at the heart of this particular reflective media creative project. What made this experience even more personal is that the soundtrack that you'll hear, especially in the end, is an original piece called Guardian, composed by my tourism brother, Paul Matthews, and his band, his bandmates. I was going to say his team from Ghost Owned. And Paul works in the visitor. He's a visitor economy specialist, but a very talented one at that. And to have him contribute his music really brought just such a deeper sense of connection to this particular project and work. So if he's listening, thank you, my dear PM, Mr. Paul Matthews. It grounded the theory in family, in creativity and place, especially at a time where this particular song really struck a chord as Guardian, having said goodbye to two angels in heaven. So thank you, Paul. Your contribution gave this piece soul, and it makes it so much more special. So let's take a few minutes. It is only a 3-minute piece to have a listen. And Paul's The Guardian. You can search Ghost Owned, and you can listen to the full track and the vocals, which are also sung by Paul, on Spotify. But here it is: CTRL+ALT+DELETE. Attention is the new offline. You're scrolling again, maybe to relax, maybe to escape. But what if the endless scroll isn't just a habit? It's a trap. According to Signrick 2023, streaming media users are caught in a state of always-on visibility and creative output. The question is, are we consuming content, or is it consuming us? Content creation, it's the new hustle. We upload, we post, we share. But as Abidin 2018 points out, attention is a scarce resource. Behind every upload is exhaustion, the pressure to stay relevant and stay seen. Ever posted something and then kept checking every few minutes to see if it got likes, comments, shares and saves? That constant urge to refresh is what Abidin calls the war of attention. It's not just content, it's competition. The algorithm isn't here to help you. It's here to keep you hooked. Are we really choosing what we consume, or are we just following the algorithm's lead? Picture this: you're lying in bed, exhausted, ready to sleep. But instead of switching off, you reach for your phone. One video leads to another. Before you know it, it's 1 a.m. That's not by coincidence. That's by design. Let's look at discoverability. Once meant finding something new. Now it means fitting the mold. But what happens to content that doesn't fit the algorithm's criteria? Does it just disappear? Ever notice how every viral video seems to follow the same formula? The same music, the same dance, the same flashy edits. That's not a trend, that's an algorithm. It's not about standing out, it's about fitting in. Everything converges. Podcasts, videos, articles, all fighting for the same thing, your attention. Maybe it's time to Control-Alt-Delete, to reset, step away, and reclaim our attention. Because in the end, it's not about what we consume, it's about what we choose to ignore. When was the last time you went for a walk, waited in line, or enjoyed a meal without checking your phone? No notifications, no news updates. Just you, experiencing the world around you. Imagine what we could hear if we just Control-Alt-Deleted and logged off. I hope that provoked a little thinking. It's interesting, isn't it? We're producing more than ever and consuming more than ever. We crave real connection, but we're competing with noise, with distractions and invisible algorithms shaping what we see, when we see it, and even how we feel about it. This project gave me the pause I didn't know I needed. It allowed me to ask, what do I really want from the digital world? And just as importantly, what am I willing to give to it with intention? And just as importantly, what am I willing to give to it with intention for my attention? One of the standout memories from my degree wasn't digital at all, even though I did my 4 years master's as an online, mature age student. It was when I travelled to the other side of the country to Perth for my one and only, the first and the last in-person unit that I did at Curtin was probably midway through my degree. The unit focused on accessibility and brought together students from different faculties to collaborate on real-world inclusion projects. It was eye-opening, collaborative, and profoundly human. A beautiful contrast to the so many solo late night study sessions behind the screen. I'm talking late night to the early morning, like watching the sunrise, solo sessions behind a screen. So although the degree was fully completed outside from this in-person accelerated unit, the learning is far from over. If you're in the middle of building something, changing course, or just trying to figure things out in this fast-paced digital landscape, I am right there with you, next to you, behind you. And here's an invitation. Number one, I have dropped on it's not a new website. I've had it since 2015. On my personal website, despinakaratzias.com, I have uploaded every piece of research, every essay, every project that I have completed over the many units in these last 4 years. I think there's 8 in total. A lot of work that, just belongs to be out in the world to share with you. Might give someone else something to go by or think about. Maybe someone will do their PhD from something that they've read or researched that needs a little bit more digging, a little bit more going down the rabbit hole. For now, that is not going to be me. I say that now and forever. I feel very complete of where I am here right now. To further share this concept of AI, of algorithms, and the attention economy, I want you to be the first to know, world exclusive, that I'll be hosting a 100% free online masterclass in the coming weeks to share the work around this particular topic. What I plan to do is collate all the research that I presented as part of this project. And I'll walk you through what these algorithms and the attention economy are doing to our brains, how we can take back control, and how to use best practice strategies in our businesses without burning out. Because content, producing content, publishing content, this very act of doing this podcast, it's important for our business. But how can we do that in a sustainable way that we don't kill ourselves in the process? So if that sounds like something you need, visit the show notes and I'll pop it everywhere online once I kind of solidify this thought bubble and make it real. instituteofexcellence.com/podcast/77 for episode 77 is where I will have more details as this comes to fruition. Everything you need is in the show notes on Institute of Excellence, or follow on the socials, Despina Karatzias, or the company socials. And if you don't have time to register right now, seriously, just send me a DM. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you like to play, I'm there. There we go. The very top, it's a conundrum. So you can find me under Despina Karatzias or Institute of Excellence. And I'll be happy to register you for the training myself. Easy peasy. I've got you. That's it. Thank you. Thank you always for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, if you're watching online, and for being part of this particular chapter. It's not over yet until I hold a little piece of paper and I put that hat on. That's when this will be over. But for now, this has been a chapter. We are students for life. The learning will never ever stop. But this type of learning, my brain is not going to be able to go back to its former self, all the stretching that has happened over the 4 years. Now, if this episode gave you something to ping about, to think about, if it gave you the oppa, if it gave you the aha, I would love to hear from you. Until next time, I hope you'll take a breath and notice what's truly calling for your attention and what's just calling for your click. If you'd like to support the show, subscribing or leaving a short review means the world. And as always, go out there, my friends, and be better and do better today than you did yesterday. See you next time.
Relax.